What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I've got something a little bit different. So Bungie actually did a Bungie bounty on the PC, and that's basically where Bungie stream and you can attempt to matchmake them, play a bunch of the devs, and if you can beat them, you can win an emblem and stuff like that. But on top of that, inside of the stream, they actually had some of the Bungie devs giving kind of insights about the development of the game, things that they're working on, their general kind of opinions on different issues. And we do get some pretty interesting commentary from Josh Hamrick as well as Kevin Yanis from the Bungie design teams. And so I figured because Bungie don't do this all that often, I'll actually play the kind of Q&A section of the stream back and let you guys just check it out and listen to it for yourselves. There aren't any huge reveals or promises kind of made inside of this necessarily, but there is some pretty interesting stuff. They do talk about the future of time to kill inside of the Crucible, some of the exotic changes. They also talk about DLC and Season 3 reveals, which will be happening on Twitch inside of April, so we did actually get confirmation of that, although it is something we expected to see. They talk about things like weapon slots and confirm that they are actively working on weapon slot changes, and they're going to be able to talk more about these kind of bigger questions during the summer of this year. So that confirms that we're going to see some significant changes inside of the fall update to Destiny 2. Deej also confirms that he will be updating the roadmap for the summer next week, so that's going to be pretty interesting. That's possibly when we can hear about, you know, some of the bigger changes, even if they're going to be listed for much later on in the year. It's worth remembering Chris Barrett did say he's going to have definitive answers very soon about subjects like weapon slots and random rolls, so this could be pretty interesting stuff. But they do give us more insights on weapon testing. There's questions about why Bungie takes so long to push out updates. They touch on skill-based matchmaking, private matches, having permanent rumble playlist, new subclasses in the future, sprint speeds. There's a whole lot of stuff there, guys, so I'm just going to let it play out in this video, and I hope you guys find this useful. I personally think it's something that Bungie should continue to do and do more often. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on any of the subjects that they actually talk about, and I will catch you guys very soon.
And this was submitted to us via Twitter from Hot Sauce 8372, and it reads, in regards to time to kill, that's right, we're going there. In regards to time to kill, it's a pretty popular opinion within the community that the TTK should be decreased. Do you have any plans on looking into this issue further? This sandbox update was called the Go Fast update. Will the next be called the Kill Fast update? Thanks for listening.
That is an excellent name for an update. For what it's
terrible name.
Yeah.
Actually, programming note, Josh Hamrick named the Go Fast update, and the members of his team said, don't call it that. Are you guys really going into the next match already?
Yep.
All right, talk fast.
Okay,
Time to kill.
We understand that you guys want the TTK to be faster. What I can tell you for sure is that in Season 3, we are bringing all exotics up significantly.
Gonna make them exotic again?
Make them exotic again.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of stuff coming into that. It is something we talk about constantly.
Yep.
And so like we're actively like having those discussions and figuring out ways to do that semi-responsibly, like in a moving part sort of way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we're going to get it done. I think you guys are going to be really excited with where we're going.
So update 114 was about character speed. It was about making more weapons more powerful.
Yes.
You talked a lot about bringing the hero moments back
Correct.
in your recent developer commentary on YouTube. In Season 3, exotic weapons will also be increased with their lethality, which should make...
You're absolutely going to see the average TTK get significantly faster. I don't want to spoil anything because I think you guys are going to talk about that a lot over the next couple of weeks.
Andy, ZS_18. Will Vigilance be allowed to reign supreme in the Crucible, or will we see any fine-tuning in the near future? So, if Vigilance Wing reigns supreme, it's probably because it's the preferred weapon among players who want a lower time to kill.
Correct.
Are you going to nerf it?
Not right now. No, that's not the plan. So our plan is to bring in Season 3 to bring all the other exotics so that they're all sort of in that range where around Vigilance Wing, and then we will totally fine tune stuff in the future as we find things that are not playing well in a space that we feel like they should play well. But I don't think attacking Vigilance Wing's time to kill in a world where we want to move towards a faster time to kill is the right solution.
So make other weapons competitive with Vigilance Wing.
Yeah.
Stop hammering things flush with the board.
Exactly.
I liked it when you said that last week. We're not nerfing things that are powerful. We're giving you other options to combat that power. That overall brings down the time to kill.
Right, exactly.
We still have time, so I'm going to throw another question on the pile here.
Okay.
Pint Full of Tokens asks, when will we get the stream for Expansion 2 and Season 3? I'm liking the Go Fast update so far. I'm excited to see what's next. Thank you for that question. The Go Fast update is not, in our opinion, a cure-all for everything that we want to do to have Destiny evolve and change and react to the way you play it and respond to the way you talk about it. We will get back up on stream later on this month, and we will be talking about some of the things that you will see in Season 3, like we do, like you have come to expect that we will. And every week on the blog, we'll have more developer commentary about the features that we're creating to put into the game. So this is my pledge to you. We're not revealing new content today. We're not talking about the next things that you'll play right now, but we will get to that. We'll talk about Season 3 and the things that will be available to every single player of Destiny 2, and we'll also talk about Expansion 2. I'm not going to name it right now, but we'll talk about where you can expect to go, what you can expect to confront, and how it will change the way Destiny plays out over time as a hobby, making Destiny closer to the day-to-day, week-to-week game that a lot of you have been craving. This next question comes from Houndish. That is at Houndish, bookmarks by little X's. And Houndish asks us, I'd like to know which elements of the recent and future updates which the team have enjoyed working on, the ones which they were most personally excited for. We've heard a lot from you, Josh. Kevin, I want you to own this question. We're working on a lot of things that we're putting into Destiny soon. What are you looking forward to?
As a Crucible player myself,
yes,
I am the most excited for ranked PvP.
Ranked PvP.
Yes.
Which yesterday you referred to as
Seasonal Crucible ranks.
Seasonal Crucible ranks. Okay, so right now, and traditionally, Destiny PvP in the Crucible hasn't had a ranking system. There have been some interesting ways to demonstrate your prowess to other players, but we have never had a rank. Talk to us about how you're going to bring that into the game. Give us a sense of your goals for that.
Yes. So with seasonal Crucible ranks, we're looking to serve many goals, but the most important ones, I believe, to players like me, are something to chase or something to set goals for every season.
Yep.
There's a reason to play. There's a reason to perform.
Yep.
In Crucible. Unique rewards, rewarding that level of play, either from time commitment or performance.
Okay. And we've talked a little bit about the different ways in which we assign rank. There's two categories of rank.
So there's Valor, which is a progression rank that goes up when you complete matches, regardless of win or loss. And if you win, you go up even further, and even faster. And then there's Glory, which is a progression rank that goes up when you win and goes down when you lose. Performance, it's performance here. It's all about the W.
Yep. Okay. So it's kind of two different flavors there. Slow and steady wins the race, and risk-reward type scenarios. You've told us that we'll get some special rewards if we prosper in your new ranking system. As this next match begins, would you agree to come back on stream before Season 3 begins and show us this new ranking system in action and give us a better sense for which playlists it'll impact and answer some of the other questions we've seen in the community?
Absolutely.
All right. On the hot seat, Josh Hamrick and Kevin Giannis. Next question comes from @PhilKrebs, who really wants to know, I really wish D2 weapon system returns to primary, special, heavy. It was better that way. Is my wish reasonable?
I think yes. I think that's a reasonable request. I think ultimately, though, like we want to do something better. Either way, we are actively working on weapon slot changes right now. Like right now.
This is a thing we are going to change.
Thing that we are doing. I can't talk about that right now. Like there's a lot of details still moving, a lot of moving parts, a lot of things coming together.
A lot of things in playtest.
A lot of things in playtest. That being said, I'd be happy to talk about it this summer. Like we can definitely get back together and have a real chat about where we're taking it.
So in terms of timing, we owe the community an update to our development roadmap. We need to put some other waypoints over the horizon. I'm going to do that next week. So I commit to a roadmap update. We will talk about when weapon slots in Destiny 2 will change, and we'll give you a sense of when that conversation will begin. But all up, it sounds like you're about to give players more control over how they configure their build-outs.
Yes, 100%.
All right.
I'm going Strider.
This is a conversation that we will have this summer.
Yeah, we make a promise of it.
All right. So we're not here to reveal new features as much as we're here to talk about our creative process, and the weapon slots in Destiny 2 is absolutely a thing that we are working on.
Goalies on the right.
Gentlemen, Next question comes from JDude0822, who asks, what is the exact design philosophy that lets you determine when a balance change is good? What testing procedures do you follow in order to implement a change? I think people in general want to know why some changes seem to take so long compared to other titles. There are a lot of questions in there, and you have a short matchmaking window to answer them, but what would you tell them?
So first we set goals for what we want to do with the update. In the case of 114 that you just got last week, we set a goal that we wanted to improve the speed of combat specifically.
Restore those hero moments.
Yes, and so we kind of build everything towards those, and in our testing methods behind that are like checking against our goal, like making sure that every change we implement is backing up what our vision is there. And then we have our testing methods is we have an incredible and dedicated test team who are spread thin over many things that we are all the updates coming up over the next several months. And we take as many of them as we can get and we throw them on the hottest release, which up until a couple weeks ago was 114.
Yeah.
And they pound the crap out of it and come back to us and say, fix your crap.
Devin Warner at dwarner672 says, any plans for the development team to get more directly involved in community feedback? Whether that be responding to feedback or making dev posts, detailing game decisions and why they were made, it might be exciting for the community to get a more intimate look. Here's your intimate look right now, gentlemen. This is absolutely something that we want to do more of, whether it's quoting people like Josh or Kevin on the Bungie blog, or whether it's putting them in the hot seats. What do you guys want to do to get more involved? Where can the community find you to get, your hot takes, to get your sort of intimate sharing of your thoughts and ideas and creative processes?
Yeah, I think we're starting to show up more and more on the TWAB. We're getting invited to do things like this. We're both on Twitter, tweeting.
Yes.
Tweeting.
Yep. I was trying to think of a rhyme there, but I didn't have one.
My most recent tweet actually links to both of them. So if you don't follow these guys, look at this. I'm juicing your following now. Tweet responsibly. If you look at my most recent tweet at Deej_BNG, you'll see their picture. You can follow both of them. And I trust you to answer questions respectfully and truthfully.
Absolutely.
And now that I'm going to add as the game starts, there is, we've heard the feedback that the community wants more involvement, or at least more of a conversation, and we're actively looking at ways with the stream, but even in game, we know there's a big desire for testing builds early, and it's absolutely something we're thinking about.
Getting the community more involved in the development
working
process.
On. Yes, absolutely.
This is something that we'll talk about when we're ready to actually begin it.
Yep.
In the meantime, you're both coming back for a Season 3 stream to talk more about what you've been working on. You're up on YouTube as recently as last week talking about your guns.
Oh, can they see? Okay,
No,
they can.
no. This is a conversation that will continue. It's happening right now, and we're going to do more of it. Cosmo's shushing me, so let's go back to battle. Or Chris of the Dead would like to say, I guess I'd ask, what can you tell us about your solutions for the loot system? Like random rolls, perks, mods, depth to weapons and armor, and stuff like that.
So I'm not an investment designer.
Did you play one on TV?
I've been on two, yes. Now there's Kevin, but I will say the whole studio is focused on finding answers to that. We know that people want to get excited again. They want to kill a boss and get something spectacular for it. They want to have something to play for, something to show up every night to get. Something to to gather all the friends together on a nightly basis so they can hang out and play Destiny together. And so there are solutions being looked at and being worked on right now and being considered. And it is definitely a big part of Destiny that we know that we're missing at the moment. And so we're looking at ways to bring that back around and
when you say get people excited again, this is about if you play Destiny on a long enough timeline, if it's your hobby, if you play every day, if you play every week, you get these loot drops. You don't want it to be the same thing that you've seen again and again and again.
Right.
People want variety. People want to feel like anything can happen when that luminous jewel tumbles out of a boss or out of any opponent.
Yep.
And while you're not in a position to say random rolls are coming back definitely and give a release date, these are the things that everybody in the company is sensitive to this feedback. We acknowledge this feedback. We're sorry that we can't give you hard facts about it today, but I think we need to go an additional step and say, we realize that you need the loot in Destiny to be more exciting.
Right.
We realize that you want to feel like anything can happen when you go to the Cryptarch to stand tall before the man and, give him what you've claimed in battle. And these are things that we're not just talking about. These are things that we're working on.
Yep.
These are things that we are working on. IBD Hippo, or Cool Hippo, wants to know,
This better be for you.
are there any set plans to introduce new elements, classes, subclasses, or weapon types to the game in the near future? Careful.
Yes. Some of these things, they're definitely plans.
It's a provisional yes.
That's
it's not yes to all.
Yeah, that's a large list.
Yes.
Wait, no to some, yes to some.
Okay.
Yeah, we're always trying to evolve and push forward the sandbox, and there will be things that, again, we get back together in the future to talk about.
Yep.
That I'm very excited. If you can't tell by my very flat voice right now, I'm super excited. But that we can't talk about it right now.
But your goal for Destiny has always been to create a game that changes over time, that gives you new forms of combat to master. Anybody who's been playing Destiny for a long time has always had new things to grasp, or new things to embrace, new ways to fight, and you are currently working on new things that the community has never experienced?
I am not, because I'm in this room, but my team is upstairs right now, very hard at work.
Well, we are in many places at once in our lives, and your day-to-day, you are working on new ways for Guardians to fight.
Correct.
New ways for Guardians to, well, I'm just getting way too close to all this.
I know,
You're going to have new stuff
talk
to do.
about it.
Yes, we want to talk about it. This is not a reveal stream, but you're going to have new stuff to do. You're going to find new stuff in your inventory. You're going to have new ways to fight. Escape Velocity wants to know, how did the Crucible team decide on random game modes instead of letting players choose what mode they want to play like we had in original Destiny?
I think the biggest driver of that conversation was trying to improve matchmaking times and connection quality.
Okay.
Additionally, it allows us to better supply certain moods. As you've seen with 1.1.4, we've gone and reinforced those moods. Quick Play is now delivering on that 4v4 low intensity that you see on that node. Competitive now driving further the 4v4 high intensity. But yeah, the biggest driver of that conversation was definitely the connection quality and connection times. More people in a pool means more good connections to pull from.
So the conversation in original Destiny was about, should we have skill-based matchmaking or should we have connection-based matchmaking? Can you give me those different flavors? People had more control over their game modes, but the conversation was about matchmaking.
Yes.
We don't hear that debate about skill-based or connection-based matchmaking as much now, but we need to give people more control over what they want to play.
Yes, and you know what? Starting with Season 3, the launch of Private Match is coming. And so at any point in time when you want to get a game of Control together, of Rumble, you can do that.
That does require a healthy friends list, but in addition to that, in 1.1.4, you've also introduced weekly rotators, which if I want to play Rumble, I can play it all week. A lot of people say make Rumble permanent.
And we've absolutely heard that feedback.
Heard that, yeah. How could you miss it?
And to be more specific, we heard that, we understand that, we're having conversations every day since launch about that. They are serious conversations. And hopefully we'll have more to say later.
This is a question that actually calls back to some of the feedback that we got in the wake of Update 1.1.4, the Go Fast update. Why can't the mobility stat increase sprint speed? I'm a hunter. I need to ninja. So while the Go Fast update did restore some hero moments and did make player speed a little bit faster, a lot of people said, I still want to go yet faster. I want to run faster. What do you say to the hunter who wants to be a ninja?
So there's a couple things. One, ninjas aren't really known for sprinting. They're known for being stealthy. Just throwing that out there.
As the original hunter, you're pretty much Hunter OG, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay. Origin of the species.
But having said that, I totally understand. It makes sense. There are a couple things here. One is that attaching sprint to mobility is awesome, and it's something we should look into in the future. Anyway, I think we're close to the high end of sprint, right? And that would mean bringing sprint speeds down, probably, which is questionable, and one of the reasons we don't want to touch it a whole lot. The sprint speed is the same as it was in D1. We didn't change that. We actually were going to test increased sprint speed. When we first started talking about the update, that was one of the things on the list. We ran into a technical issue. Changing that had some bad effects, and so we opted to roll that back out for now. But it's something that we're open to, and we'll continue to test with and see if we can get a workaround.
Well, you were so open to it, you were looking to do it.
Yeah, no, we were actively
not if it
doing
breaks
it.
the game.
Correct.
Right?
One of the things that a couple of things that sprint speed does, which is worth talking about, is that when we're loading in the game, it has an effect on that. I've seen some good responses to that. I've talked about this before on Twitter, and people have said, then what about like Dawnblade going fast and things like that? And the truth is, like, yes, all those things can and do break loading, and so you find yourself in a loading bubble or whatever.
We're in fight again. I'm going to push pause on this.
Okay,
I want you to complete that thought after this match.
Okay.
There's going to be more about further evolutions to the sandbox. Just to summarize, last matchmaking cycle, we were talking about hunters want to sprint faster, titans want to skate again. Every time you move the yardstick just a little bit and change subclasses, we hear from the community, they say, we will also want more of this.
Yes.
What say you to all of that stuff?
I mean, we're gonna try and keep giving things out to do, right? Interesting ways to play. But we're trying to be surgical about when and how we do that for various reasons. Some is just like, hey, like when we give we want to make hunters better here and titans better here. We want to give them interesting things at the same time to compete against each other, preferably on opposing axes, to keep the game interesting and fun. And then we have a bunch of random technical stuff that we have to think about at any given time. And that's not to say, to be clear, I don't want people to think that we wouldn't change sprint speed at any point. It is something we would continue to look at and evaluate and see, figure out how to fix the issues we ran into. The answer is we ran into issues, and so we have to figure out ways to deal with those things and work around them.
So the answer to making hunters faster is not never.
Right, no, absolutely not.
It's you're continuing to work on all the different subclasses.
Yep. And it may not be, we might not attack on the sprint front. There are other ways in general to make hunters faster as well, right? And so,
All right. And for this last question, I saw some people in chat talking about things like action sack or rift or new crucible modes or even experimental crucible modes. Have we seen every way that there is to fight in the crucible, Kevin?
To put a long answer short, no.
No.
We are absolutely looking at new crucible modes. We're actively working on new crucible modes.
Working on is much better than looking at.
Yes.
So I'm going to put some emphasis
there's both. We are actively developing new crucible modes and always thinking about new ways to play.
Okay.
Always.
You had also mentioned before that we're looking at getting the community a little bit more involved in our development process before things are locked.
Yes.
We've always put a very high emphasis on, I guess I would call it showmanship on Bungie, where there's a curtain pole and here you go, this new thing. We give you Rift, or we give you things that I know about that are yet to be revealed. What do you think we could do in order to be a little bit more collaborative with our players so that they know what we're working on before it's too late for us to respond to their feedback?
I can't speak to specifics yet because it is a work in progress, but we are, especially on the Crucible team, thinking of and working on a way to get in progress work out to you guys.
Okay. In terms of how we part here, I'm going to read a final question from Ich bin Crash, and it's addressed directly to Josh Hamrick. And it reads, are you stupid?
It depends who you ask.
We're asking Ich bin Crash.
I mean, yeah, I would love.
Are you stupid?
I mean,
are you stupid?
I'm. I don't know.
What? You don't.
Here's what I'll say.
Okay.
We released 1.14 last week. For all of you playing it and giving us feedback and telling us what you think we did well, what moved along the right path, what we did too great, what you'd like to see. Thank you for playing, for sticking with us, for giving us feedback, for continuing to support us, for saying nice things. We're not. And I want to say that.
Don't dodge the question. Are you stupid?
Not stupid.
All right.
Just misunderstood.
Okay, all right.